Okay, but so today we are going to discuss cubital fossa and brachial artery. So cubital fossa, it can come as an essay question. Brachial artery usually comes as 5 marks question, beta. Okay. Then, so see, these are the learning objectives are nothing but these are the headings under which usually the question will be asked. We should know the boundaries, contents, relations, what we have in the cubital fossa. We will see the surface anatomy, what is the clinical importance. We will see the brachial artery and what are the branches of brachial artery and radial ulnar artery which are forming anastomosis around elbow joint. This itself can be a 5 marks question. Okay, so overall we have 3 important questions into this topic. So cubital fossa, it is nothing but it's a triangular space or a depression which is located over anterior surface of the elbow joint. Okay, it's a place where you are finding like the entrance of arm into the forearm. Okay, so this is arm and this is forearm. Okay, brachium is arm, antebrachium is forearm. Yesterday also we have talked about it. Now, what are the various boundaries we have? We have medial wall, lateral wall, apex base, floor and roof. Okay, now from this picture always we should know which is medial in the picture and which is lateral in the picture. So you can see here. So this depression what we have right in front of the elbow joint is nothing but cubital fossa. So it has medial border which is formed by this yellow muscle which is pronator teres. Okay, and this border of the pronator teres becomes the lateral border because this is the medial border, right? So not medial border, but this is the medial aspect of the diagram. Suppose if it is my hand, so this is the medial and this is thumb is towards lateral. So medially we have pronator teres, laterally we have brachioradialis. Okay. So now see here, the lateral border of pronator teres is seen on the medial side and medial border of the brachioradialis, okay, is on the lateral side. And see, the superior border is nothing but it's an imaginary line which is formed by joining the medial and lateral epicondyles of the humerus. Okay, so this is the apex. Okay, so base, apex. Okay, medial border, lateral border. Medial border pronator teres, lateral border brachioradialis. This is the lateral aspect in the diagram. So this becomes the medial border of the muscle. So medial border of brachioradialis forms the lateral border. Lateral border of pronator teres forms the medial border. Base is formed by the imaginary plane joining medial and lateral epicondyles. Apex is the meeting point of the pronator teres and the brachioradialis. Okay, then next coming to the roof. How is the roof formed? Roof is nothing but formed by the skin superficial fascia. What is the name of this muscle? I told you yesterday, Hema. Biceps brachiae.
Biceps brachiae.
This extension, bicipital
Bicipital
aponeurosis.
aponeurosis.
Yes, so boundaries. See, everything what I have shown in the form of diagram is texted here. Base is an imaginary line which is joining medial and lateral epicondyles. Laterally, what do we have? So laterally we have this muscle, medial border of brachioradialis. Okay, medially this muscle, that is the lateral border of pronator teres. So this muscle is pronator teres, small muscle. Okay, then apex is the meeting point of the brachioradialis and pronator teres. Okay, you can see the animation green line. So this is the lateral border, this is the medial border, and this is the base. Lateral border is the medial border of brachioradialis, medial border is the lateral border of pronator teres, base is the joining point of medial and lateral epicondyles. Now coming to, like, we will discuss, I told you under these headings, roof. So you just try to recollect what you did in that section hall. You have just reflected the skin. So soon after you have like reflected the skin, you could see superficial fascia. So yesterday we have seen laterally we have cephalic vein, medially we have basilic vein. Joining the cephalic and basilic vein, we have median cubital vein. Okay, so which is actually moving from the cephalic vein to the basilic vein. Okay, lateral to medial side. It is moving towards heart, I said. Okay, apart from that, you see we also have cutaneous nerves, isn't it? So this is the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm. Okay, this is the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm. Okay, when you just try to remove all these structures, you will come across deep fascia, below which you will see the bicipital aponeurosis. Okay, so that is. I hope you understood this. Now, now contents of cubital fossa are MBBR or MBBS. Okay, from medial to lateral side, we have median nerve M, then we have brachial artery B, then we have the tendon of biceps brachii, the bicipital aponeurosis. Below that, you will see the tendon, okay, which lies like as the central structure in the cubital fossa. Then MBBR is radial nerve. You can also use the word superficial branch of radial nerve. Then the code becomes MBBS. Okay. From medial to lateral side, we have these relations. Median nerve, brachial artery, tendon of biceps brachii, and radial nerve. And of course, in the roof, we saw this median cubital vein, which was connecting the cephalic and basilic vein. Okay. Let's see. These are the structures, what you can see. This is our pronator teres. Obviously, this becomes our medial boundary. Then MBBR. Okay. This first M is standing for median nerve. Then we have brachial artery. Then we have tendon for biceps. Okay. Then we have superficial branch of radial nerve. This one better. This one. Superficial. Just below brachioradialis, we will see the superficial branch of radial nerve. This is deep branch, which goes deep to supinator muscle. This we will discuss later when we are doing radial nerve. I hope this MBBR code is clear for you now. Okay. Let us see the median nerve. It is passing downwards. See, this is the one. This thick nerve is passing downwards. Okay. What condyle do we have here? Medial epicondyle of the humerus. Okay. Then, so it is running downwards between the humeral and ulnar head of the pronator teres muscle, giving branches to the pronator teres muscle. Okay. Here, this is the pronator teres muscle we have. So we have actually two origins for pronator teres. One is from the humerus and the other is from the ulnar bone. Okay. Between the two heads, you can see the median nerve is passing here, and it is giving branch to the pronator teres muscle. Okay. Then we have, what is the second content? We have MBBS, right? So the second content we have is brachial artery. So the brachial artery is central in position medial to the tendon of biceps. Obviously, this is the tendon of biceps, and medial to this we have this artery, that is the brachial artery. So it is actually corresponding to the neck of the radius, isn't it? You remember the osteology part, head is round, below which we have neck, then we have radial tuberosity. Okay, so the brachial artery will be dividing into radial and ulnar arteries. Okay, then what is the third content, beta? We have biceps brachii. Actually, the biceps brachii will get inserted over here. Here you are not seeing the tendon, but still to show you the radial tuberosity, I kept this picture. Okay, the tendon of, see, this is the tendon of biceps brachii, beta, which is cut here. Okay, which is actually going and getting inserted where? In the radial tuberosity. Here you will have bursa. I told you the importance of bursa. Wherever we have friction, here supination, pronation actions are conducted, performed, because of which lot of friction is there, so that there is a bursa, so as to give lubrication. Okay. So now before it is getting inserted into radial tuberosity, the biceps brachii, it is giving an aponeurosis extension, which we have seen, that is the bicipital aponeurosis. Yesterday when we were talking about median cubital vein, there also I told you this bicipital aponeurosis actually supports, isn't it? So that the vein is not slipping downwards. Okay. So that is the insertion of biceps. You see in the posterior part of radial tuberosity, anteriorly we have bursa. Okay. So what is the last content, meta? We have, what is the name of this muscle? Brachioradialis. If you just lift brachioradialis, below this you will see the superficial branch of radial nerve. Okay. Deep to, this is the supinator muscle, beta. Deep to this, whatever branch is going, that is the deep branch of radial nerve. Below brachioradialis, we have superficial branch of radial nerve. Okay, it's only a short course what we see in the cubital fossa. So this muscle is biceps. Below biceps, we have brachialis. Okay, anyhow, musculocutaneous nerve I will discuss as we proceed. Now, cubital fossa contents, we have seen the radial nerve. It is dividing into the superficial and deep branch. The deep branch is actually called as a posterior interosseous nerve. Where is it running? I said it is going deep to which muscle? That is the supinator muscle. Superficial branch is running just below brachioradialis. It becomes cutaneous like this. So form the posterior cutaneous nerve of forearm. Why we are bothered about superficial branch? Because cubital fossa content is MPBS. S is nothing but superficial branch of radial nerve.
Radial.
Okay, that becomes cutaneous, forming the posterior cutaneous nerve of forearm like this. Okay, posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm is nothing but the continuation of which nerve? The superficial branch.
Superficial branch of radial.
Radial nerve. Very good. Yeah. Now coming to the floor, you have seen roof, you have seen medial boundary, lateral boundary, you have seen apex, you have seen base, right? Now let us see the floor. Once you remove, you just try to recollect the dissection what you did. Once you remove all the contents, then you will see the floor muscles. Okay, in the floor, now see this is the ulna bone, this is the radial bone. So medially, ulna is medial bone. So medially we have brachialis and laterally we have this round muscle deep to which the radial nerve was going. Okay, that is supinator. So in the floor we have two muscles. One is brachialis and the other is supinator. Okay, that is in the floor. So that actually is about the cubital fossa. Now let us elaborate little about the brachial artery. We know the brachial artery is a continuation of which artery?
Axillary.
Axillary artery. Okay, till the lower border of teres major, we name it as axillary artery. From there, it is now named as brachial artery. And at the neck of the radius, you will see where the biceps tendon is getting inserted. Exactly at that point, at the neck of the radius, you will see the brachial artery will be dividing into radial and ulnar artery. Radial is lateral and ulnar is medial artery. Okay, beta? So you can see here. Complete, if you can trace it from upwards, from the brachiocephalic trunk, we have subclavian. From the subclavian, we have axillary. Here till the lower border of teres major. From there, you call it as brachial. At the neck of the radius, you know the brachial is dividing into radial and ulnar. Okay. The brachial artery, I told you, it itself can come as 5 marks question. So actually, it's better for us to understand this diagram in order to understand the relations now. See, this is the front of arm. You have like reflected the skin better. Okay, you have stripped off the skin now. So you are finding this muscle is having two heads. So what may be the name of this muscle? Biceps.
Biceps brachial.
Biceps brachial. Okay, close to biceps brachial. From the coracoid process, there was one muscle originating. No?
Started.
Coracobrachialis.
Coracobrachialis and shorted off.
Shorted up biceps. Okay, very good. Shorted up biceps and coracobrachialis. Okay, this is the long head of biceps. Okay, so let us name the structures. Long head of biceps, shorted up biceps, then coracobrachialis. So we are finding two muscles of the, in the front of the arm, we have three muscles: biceps brachiae, coracobrachialis, and brachialis. Okay, so two muscles are visible now. One is biceps and the other is coracobrachialis. Okay, behind we have only one muscle better. Extensor compartment, only one muscle is there. What is the name of that muscle we have? That is triceps. Triceps. Behind only one muscle. You see here, now this is the medial border of biceps brachiae. What is the name of this artery which is running downwards? Brachial artery.
Brachial artery.
Medial to the brachial artery, you are finding ulnar nerve. Lateral, you are finding the medial nerve. Okay, we will discuss these nerves later. For now, we are talking about arteries so that you should know what are its relations. Okay. So, brachial artery anteriorly in the upper part, it is related to these nerves, small nerves. Okay, these are medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. The middle part, you can see this nerve. This nerve. You can see V, no better? So, the joining part of this is nothing but medial nerve. And the medial nerve is actually crossing the brachial artery from the lateral side and then it is coming to medial side. This relation again we will study when we are doing median nerve better. Try to understand. Median nerve is initially lateral to the artery. It is crossing the artery and then it is coming medial to the brachial artery. That's what is written here. So in the middle part, the brachial artery is crossed by median nerve. Exactly this point. Okay. The lower part in the cubital fossa, what is this white sheet beta? Bicipital
Bicipital appendix.
Yeah, bicipital aponeurosis. Okay, so it is crossed by bicipital aponeurosis. Okay. Yeah. Now, see this picture also will help us to understand same thing better. What are the various muscles you are finding? Shorted up biceps, longed up biceps, biceps brachii, coracobrachialis. Okay, this is all red in color is brachial artery. Okay, V shaped is median nerve. More medially, thicker one is ulnar nerve. Smaller, thinner ones are medial venous nerve of arm and medial
Bluetooth mode.
nerve of forearm. Okay, beta?
Yes.
Now we have seen anterior relations of brachial artery. Suppose if you remove all these brachial artery and all, then you will see such structures which are behind. So what are the structures you see? You will see long head of triceps. You will see medial head of
Device paired.
triceps. You will see coracobrachialis and brachialis muscles. Okay. This I will show you. Now what we are seeing is only biceps and coracobrachialis better. Of course, triceps also. That means posteriorly you have triceps, long head and middle head. Okay, you are also seeing this muscle, coracobrachialis. Only thing is once you cut the biceps brachii, you will see brachialis. Small shade is. I'll show you much better. Okay. Then medially, what is the nerve? I have been telling you better. This blue in color, thicker one. The name of the nerve
Ulnar.
is ulnar. Then we have studied about basilic vein yesterday. So it is medially related to basilic vein in the upper part of the arm. So what is the nerve this which is crossing lateral to medial? What is the name of the
Median
nerve?
nerve.
Median nerve. So medially from above downwards, I have kept three colors and three arrows for better understanding. We are finding ulnar nerve, we are finding basilic vein, we are also finding median nerve. Okay, beta? Yes. Then let us see the lateral relations. Laterally, it is related to again see. This I told you this is coracobrachialis, right? Okay, I told you this is biceps brachial, and this is the tendon of biceps brachial. So these 1, 2, and 3. These are forming the lateral relations of brachial artery. Okay. Now coming to the branches of brachial artery. The branches of brachial artery are we have muscular branches, nutrient artery, profunda brachiae, that is the largest branch we have. Then we have superior ulnar collateral and inferior ulnar collateral artery. Okay, beta? So what are the muscles in the front of the arm? We have three muscles in the front of the arm. Biceps brachiae, brachialis and coracobrachialis. Okay? All these three muscles, in fact, what is the only muscle behind? One muscle behind.
Triceps.
So all these four muscles are supplied by which artery?
Brachial artery.
Through which branches?
Muscular branches.
Nutrient artery goes to what? Bone.
Bones.
Yeah. Nutrient foramen will be seen in the bone, and the nutrient artery is actually passing through the nutrient foramen and supplying the bone. Profunda brachiae word means the largest branch is basically called as profunda. Okay, it is going and supplying the arm, that's why you call it as profunda brachiae artery. But from this, we also have superior ulnar collateral artery and inferior ulnar collateral artery. These are the various branches of brachial artery. Okay. Now see. Now let us see the branches. See, this is the brachial artery. Okay. The one which is going behind is profunda brachiae. Now there is a question for you. In which intermuscular spaces you will find profunda brachiae artery?
Lower triangle.
Excellent. Am I studying it shows? Along with which nerve?
Radial now.
Excellent. Lower triangular space along with radial nerve, you will see profunda brachiae artery. That means it is going behind. Okay, beta? Apart from that, we have many muscular branches. Then we have, see, this is the superior ulnar collateral, this is inferior ulnar collateral. From profunda brachiae, if you observe, we have anterior descending branch and posterior descending branch. Okay, posterior descending branch is called as radial collateral. Anterior descending branch is called as middle collateral. And the terminal branches of brachial artery, this is the neck of the radius. At the neck of the radius, the brachial artery is now finally subdividing into two. What are those, Chavi? Medially we have ulnar artery, and laterally we have radial artery. Okay. Now let us see anastomosis around elbow joint. This itself can come as a short note or a very short note. Now let us see. First of all, we should identify which is the medial part and which is the lateral part. Okay. So see here, this is the medial epicondyle. You have this trochlea capitulum. Our easy way is ulna is medial bone, radius is lateral bone. Okay. Now we know this is the brachial artery. Now coming to anastomosis, we have two arteries in front of medial epicondyle, two arteries behind the medial epicondyle. Similarly, two arteries in front and two arteries behind the lateral epicondyle. That forms the anastomosis because we have so much of movement at elbow joint, so there should be proper blood supply. Okay, that's the reason we have so much of anastomosis. Now, what are the blood vessels which are forming anteriorly? See, in front of the medial epicondyle, we are finding what are the branches we are finding? Let us see inferior collateral. See inferior ulnar collateral, right? And it is anastomosing with anterior ulnar recurrent. Understood? Anterior ulnar recurrent is a branch of ulnar artery. Okay. Now, behind medial epicondyle, posterior ulnar recurrent and superior ulnar collateral. The superior and inferior ulnar collateral, just now I told you these are the branches of brachial artery.
Brachial artery.
That means the branches of brachial artery and the branches of ulnar artery, they are taking part in the anastomosis around elbow joint medially. Can you repeat once? In front of medial epicondyle, Meghana, what are the two blood vessels joining beta? In front. हंसराज सामने आगे की तरफ कौन सा है बेटा?
Ulnar collateral anastomosis with anterior ulnar recurrent artery.
पीछे वेरी गुड. पीछे कौन सा?
Or superior collateral artery anastomosis with posterior ulnar recurrent artery.
Very good. Superior ulnar collateral and posterior ulnar recurrent. So that is very much clear for you now. Okay. Now coming to lateral condyle, lateral epicondyle. Now lateral epicondyle, in front we have radial collateral. Okay, superiorly, and inferiorly we have radial recurrent artery. Radial recurrent artery. Okay, behind we have behind the lateral epicondyle, we have middle collateral, and then we have interosseous recurrent artery. The one which is going behind it, okay, is actually called as recurrent, and it is running from interosseous membrane. That's why it is called as recurrent interosseous. Okay, interosseous recurrent artery. Now, if you carefully observe here, this is our brachial artery dividing into radial and ulnar. Ulnar will give common interosseous membrane. I hope you remember. In front of the interosseous membrane, we have anterior interosseous artery. Behind the interosseous membrane, we have posterior interosseous artery. From posterior interosseous artery, one artery is going behind and it is moving upwards. Always backflow is generally we use the word recurrent word is used. So I am repeating. In front of the lateral epicondyle, we have radial collateral and radial recurrent. Behind the lateral epicondyle, we have middle collateral and radial, now interosseous recurrent, the shaded ones. Okay, so these are the blood vessels which you should remember. 4 plus 4, 8 blood vessels you are supposed to remember to make the anastomosis around elbow joint, because it can come as either 5 marks question or 3 marks question. Very important. As such, if brachial artery is also asked, better you add this also, anastomosis around elbow. The rich anastomosis is nothing but it's a rich anastomosis between the small branches of brachial, radial, and ulnar artery. I told you much better already, better. Like around the medial epicondyle, I told you anteriorly we have inferior ulnar collateral, anterior ulnar recurrent. Behind we have superior ulnar collateral and posterior ulnar recurrent. Okay. In front of the lateral epicondyle, I told you we have radial collateral and radial recurrent. Behind we have middle collateral and interosseous recurrent. Okay, you read from any of your textbooks. Try to understand the diagram and you can write on your own. Okay. Then So anastomosis is like branches of brachial artery, branches of radial and ulnar arteries are joining. Okay, beta? So different pictures I have kept. So once you read, you will understand clearly. See, cubital fossa clinical significance. We can check the blood pressure, isn't it? What do we palpate when we are checking the blood pressure? Brachial artery, isn't it? So sometimes this brachial artery may be fractured if there is any injury at the elbow joint, especially the fracture of humerus, which may lead to non-availability of the blood supply to the muscles of forearm, okay, leading to this type of contracture, which is called as Volkmann's ischemic contracture. Okay, severe trauma to the elbow or forearm may result in damage to the brachial artery and radial ulnar artery, which is leading to the contraction of the muscles, okay, which is called as Volkmann's ischemic contraction. Okay, the median cubital vein I have discussed yesterday. I think now nothing is. I hope you remember just yesterday's class, right? Connecting the cephalic vein and basilic vein. The blood flow is from cephalic to basilic. You know, it is used for venipunctures and IV injections. Just below we have bicipital aponeurosis supporting it. We also have perforating veins because of which it is held in position. These are the points what you are supposed to write for median cubital vein. Same thing is written.